Another year of Jim O'Brien. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's good to get it done. I'm delighted that it's over the line, and here we are again.
We were just chatting off camera there. You are the only Notts County player who's experienced our relegation to the National League, the 4 years at that level, and thankfully the promotion at the end of it. It's a unique position to be in, but I guess this coming season feels probably more special to you than anyone.
Yeah, I mean, there was plenty of ups and downs, and obviously when I first came in it was to help us stay in the league, and unfortunately we sort of run out of time in games and we weren't able to do it. So to still be here and play under some good managers and have them want to keep me on board, it's quite a special feeling. And I did say every time I signed a new contract that if I left the club having not achieved getting us back to the league, then probably I've failed really. And so to get that done, and it's a big weight off the shoulders, and it's such a special feeling.
Decent return of appearances last year, nearly 30 I think. Scored 5 goals as well. How would you rank your performances last year compared with previous seasons?
Probably up there with some of the best I've played in my whole career, and that's probably down to the fact of the manager and the staff, and the work that goes in on the training pitch, and the responsibility he's given me on the pitch, off the pitch, which probably wasn't even spoken about in great detail. It was just that trust and belief that he had, the understanding of, I knew how he wanted to play quite quickly, and helping other lads get up to speed quickly as well. So it's been brilliant. It's been a real education for me in terms of the coaching side as well, and in terms of getting the detail in, and there's so much detail that goes into sessions, especially from last pre-season, and we've just built on that, and the manager's layered everything up to a point, and it gets to a point where everything just becomes second nature for the lads. And so it's been really special for me, and like I say, a real education in terms of the coaching side.
Having spoken to Luke earlier in the summer, he mentioned about the fact that you, the likes of Connell, Sam Slocum, have kind of adopted this role under him in the last year, where you've been quite proactive in imparting your own experiences onto other members of the squad. How has that been, like a conscious thing from him to say, I want you to do this, or do you just feel under Luke that you have that responsibility and that freedom to play a part in helping develop other players?
Yeah, it's a natural thing for me because I'm quite loud and stuff anyway, and obviously we having done my coaching badges and doing coaching now, it's something that comes quite natural. But it would have been easy last pre-season for the gaffer to come in and, as a young manager and a young coach, to just sort of bin off the older lads. And I've been at clubs where young coaches don't really like any sort of pushback, or they feel maybe threatened or pushback from older pros, and but that just certainly wasn't the case. Straight away, he gave us respect, and he was very open to us having our say on matters behind the scenes, or on the training pitch, or just general round about the club. So to have that responsibility, and quite quickly, and the understanding that he trusts the older lads, then it was a good feeling, and it obviously became quite natural to me then that I just sort of let everything go, and you don't need to sort of watch what you're saying and biting your tongue, as you will, which I'm not great at anyway. So it's been brilliant. Like I say, the trust that he's shown in us has been second to none, and I think the rewards were shown on the pitch from that as well.
As you mentioned, you're continually progressing your coaching journey while obviously still being very focused on playing. How much value is there in this extra year that you've got here, that you'll be working under somebody like Luke, people like Ryan, obviously George Lawton, João Alves, very good coaches, a wide sort of variety of experience. Is there value in this for your future as well, do you think?
Well, the value is that I'm working under the gaffer, and I know how good a coach is. I've spoke to a few of the younger lads, and quite early on they were in the dressing room saying how good his sessions were, and like going to the detail, and no stone left unturned, and I said to them, like, enjoy it, because like he's the best coach I've had, and I'm 35, so I wish I had him at 25 and not 35. I think I've maybe said that before, but so it's important that they enjoy it, the young lads as well. And the main reason I'm here is because this is now my club and the gaffer and his staff. So the fact that I probably played my best football that I've played in my career last season was a big factor in me signing again. There was a part of me that maybe wanted to jump onto the coaching side of things with other opportunities, but no, I'm not ready to stop yet, and I'm fit, and I still feel that I've got a contribution to the team on the pitch and to the club, and why not keep going and let everyone else sort of retire me, and I'll just go about my business.
Absolutely, and you'll be expected to produce on the pitch when called upon next season, won't you? Because you are a Notts County player, you will have demands, and we know how demanding a Luke Williams team is after the experience of last season. You'll surely be hoping to make plenty of appearances and chip in maybe with another hat-trick?
No, I mean, I can't see that happening, but the hat-trick, but yeah, absolutely. I'm here to play, I'm not here to sit on the bench. I know there'll be periods where I will be on the bench because we've got a strong squad. It might be a bigger looking squad from last season as well, so I'm under no illusions, but I'm here to train properly every single day like I always do, and I'm here to get in the team and play. I'm not ready to retire yet, and like I say, I'll let other people retire me because I like that anyway.
Quite right. Did you have options to go into full-time coaching this summer then?
Well, I think the Sheffield United thing, I've been there since December, and although there wasn't an offer there, I think there's something there if the time comes. I've had conversations and stuff, but they're really aware of, they've been in the loop throughout the whole process, and they know I'm not ready to stop, and they've worked around my schedule, which has been amazing for me, and I'm very thankful that they've done that, and it's a good learning curve for me. And obviously I had to have a conversation with the gaffer before Christmas as well, before taking the role or before going for it, and he was so open for me to take it, and as long as it didn't affect anything on the pitch or training here, and I made it clear to him that this was my first job and my first responsibility, and that it wouldn't get in the way. And thankfully it never, although it was tough and long hours and tired, and thankfully it never, and what I put on the pitch was up to standard.
I think fans will be interested in hearing your sort of optimism and your thoughts going into this first season back in the EFL. We have to start with a sad story. Reuben obviously is moving on, he's signed for Oxford. Just give us your perspective on having worked with him for the last 3 years, and obviously wishing him well for his new adventure. Yeah,
I think he deserves it. I've seen a natural progression in Reuben in terms of maturity. You know, he came here, just wanted to nutmeg people, and while he still did that, towards the end, his work rate over the years just became stronger and stronger, and he's one of the players who's very suited to the English game because he's so robust, as well as having that bit of flair and that bit of magic in him, and he's a great lad to have around the dressing room as well. So although it's disappointing, and the fans will be disappointed, and rightly so, because he's such a big player for us, especially last season as well, I don't think anyone can sort of say he doesn't deserve his move and the chance to move on and play a little bit higher up, and who knows, he might be back one day.
Sam Slocum and Slocum Rollinson have extended their stay at Meadow Lane. I know you'll be pleased about that.
Mainly because I share a car with Sam, so yeah, from that point of view, brilliant. Connell's one of the older heads as well, so I got on really well with Connell, and we were stuck together on that Ibiza trip as well. So yeah, as the older heads in the dressing room, and we got on really well. And I think Connell's one as well, like maybe probably thought last season he wasn't going to play as much as he did, and ended up getting in the team, staying in the team, and became an absolute machine for us at centre back. So to have someone like that on board as well again is massive for the club.
And Jody Jones is going nowhere, even though he's in Malta at the minute preparing to play against England on Friday.
Good luck, Malt. I have my strip on. So brilliant. Another in the Reuben mould, can change a game so quickly. It took him a little while to get up to speed. He maybe played out of position last season as well in terms of playing wing back and stuff. So if we can get those defensive principles into him, then I don't see why he can't play there. Add another string to his bow if you like, and obviously we know he can operate in that number 8 position as well. And it's an exciting one. Like I say, one in the Reuben mould where he can change a game. Yeah,
we've also added some other attack-minded players, Will Randall from Sutton and David McGoldrick, who I know will be somebody that you may have come across in the past, maybe played against, had a long and distinguished career. I think it's only you and David that have made over 500 career appearances within the squad. So what do you make of that?
Well, first of all, to have some of that quality and on board is quite exciting for the club and for the dressing room. 25 goals last season and he's 35. It's pretty special. The fact that he turned down a deal at Derby to be here speaks volumes for the club, speaks volumes for him, and it just goes to show you that as an older pro, people might be writing you off, but his numbers speak for themselves. So the experience he'll bring to the squad and helping the younger lads as well, it means it's not just going to be my voice most of the time.
We've got to finish on some Wembley reflections, I think. Obviously it was a day where you didn't get on the pitch, but I know we had a good conversation in the hotel afterwards, and I've never seen you happier, I don't think. Just give us your recollections of the day and your most vivid memories.
They faded quite quickly because of the alcohol that got consumed, mate, but that amazing feeling. People have said to me, congratulations on promotion and all, that's you never got on the pitch and blah blah blah. That's one thing that I was not concerned about at all. In terms of the game, I thought we started quite slowly, a bit nervy, and the manager likes the lads on the bench to have their shin guards on, ready to go. And after half an hour I took them off because Bozzy was our best player and I knew I wasn't going to get on, so literally took my shinnies off. I knew I wasn't coming on because he was the one that was sort of grabbing the game. And there was no disappointment for me not playing, because I was well aware that I've played my part throughout the season, and I could only affect it from the bench in terms of trying to calm people down or help them at half time or help them at extra time, and I was fully confident going into the penalty shootout because we'd worked so hard on them in training as well. So but yeah, no disappointment in terms of not playing, and it's just such a great feeling and so proud of the boys because they never stopped. And thinking about it in the car driving down today, and I go back and think of obviously the saves that Archie made, incredible. The tackle that Aaron the Main makes in the last minute of the game against Boreham Wood, and the little things like that, people forget them quite quickly because you get caught up in the celebrations, but these little moments in football, and they're so special. And I tell you what, to get the club back is such a great feeling, and I'm really proud that I was part of it as well, and again another reason why I'm here.
And the celebrations afterwards, so we had obviously the amazing scenes at Wembley with 22,500 Notts fans, it was amazing. And then we had the hotel with the family and the staff, and then we had the reception that you all got here at the ground, and then some fans were given a special experience of sharing a few beers with you all in town in the days afterwards. Just tell us about how much you enjoyed that euphoria of enjoying what had been achieved.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was such a special feeling, and there comes with it a lot of relief as well. I remember Connell after the game, he'd put so much into the game where he was so tired and was just subdued, and you'll see it yourself. You'll have seen it with your interviews that you did with him and stuff like that. But yeah, straight away after the game, it was just pure relief, euphoria. There was so many emotions, obviously with Jason as well. I went through so many emotions on the pitch after the game. Pure delight, upset, and I didn't actually want to leave the pitch. I spent a bit of time sort of going round with the fans, and I think that's why I ended up with the trophy and probably giving off some John Terry vibes. Never even played, but it was just to say thank you for getting behind us all season, and I think it went hand in hand with the quality that we put on the pitch last season as well. So it's a little thank you. And yeah, obviously my family was there as well, and I worked hard to make sure that they got down, and some people from Barnsley made the effort to come as well, and they got my family there. So to have my mum and dad there was amazing, and with a good few beers on the Saturday night. And like you say, the reception we got, we didn't expect it. Literally on the bus and curing a little bit of a hangover. There's a few delicate heads on the bus on the way back, so we had a few curers and had a bit of a chat, and it was nice and relaxed on the bus. And then we saw on the club's Facebook page that the manager had invited the fans to come and say hello. And when we first pulled up at the stadium, there's people outside. We thought that was it, just a little welcome party. But when we got in through the gate and it was kicking off, it was a bit special, and it was good for them as well. And then you look out and you see Les standing as well, do you know what I mean, to welcome us back, and he probably should have been on the bus with us. So no, it was amazing, and obviously we had a little bit of a party after that as well in town. And those are the parts that are the really special parts, because you get to share them with the fans. And maybe people who couldn't get to Wembley could maybe get that little bit of 5-10 minutes with some of the players, and tell us how they watch the game, or tell us what it means to them. And you have people come up to you saying it's the best football that we've played in 30 years at the club, and these little things make you step back and appreciate what we actually did last season. And like I said, to get it over the line, it was euphoria and most relief.
Season ticket sales are already well above the total figure that we sold, including half-season tickets for last season. Just talking there about the scenes here at Meadow Lane, welcoming you all back from Wembley. The club, certainly in the last 5-6 years, certainly in your time, has never been in a better position, has it, in terms of relationship with the fans and momentum?
Yeah, but I think that's partially to do with what you boys put out as well, and the club puts statements out every so often to let the fans know how things are going. Obviously fans are engaged with the players on social media, and the club's social media, so I think they feel a part of it. It is a family club. I think they're excited by the football that we've played last season, and I think that goes hand in hand with them supporting us so well. Like you say, the season tickets sales. So, and I think it's important, the brand of football that we've put on the pitch last season, for the next generation of supporters as well. I mean, people come to games and there's like 3 or 4 generations of that family watching the game, and I think that's really important that the younger ones see a good brand of football, and now there'll be an expectation to see it again. So that's on us as a club and as players to put that brand on again and compete at a higher level.
You've got 2 or 3 weeks before pre-season kicks in. What are you going to do with yourself between now and then?
It'll be school run, running, eating, school run, homework. That'll be it, mate. So I've had my holidays. You think maybe we got 4 or 5 weeks off, but had our 2 days trip with the lads. Had a week on holiday with my family and my little boy, and then it's back into, like I said before, it's back into daddy mode. So it's normal everyday life for me at the minute, and trying to squeeze some running in it when I can. But looking forward to it, really looking forward to coming back, looking forward to seeing some new faces, some old faces, and I'm looking forward to getting going and getting my teeth into some big games next season, because there's going to be some big games.